Good afternoon. Welcome to Woodturning in the stable studio. Just enjoying a cup of tea and a wee relax before I start. Got some Hallions in the background. Let's have a look, see what... Oh God, do I really have to do this?
Yeah.
Okay, here they come. There you go. We've got the backwards Mr. I don't know who that is, can't tell you who that is. We've got Mr. Mike Walt, who's just recovering from his eye operation this morning. So
turn a bit, turn.
Afternoon, everybody.
He's got a patch in his eye.
And welcome. You are.
We've got Terry from TJ Turning.
Hello, everybody.
The badge. Terry, the badge Bray. And we've got Pete from Twisted Trees.
Hi-oh.
And we've got Mark, the gentleman woodturner.
Hi, everyone. So
we were having a little discussion earlier there about nothing very much important, so we'll not refer to that at all. But the good news is Gav Today is in the chat. Welcome along, Gav.
Hi, Gav.
Good to see you back. Hope the hand's healing well and you get back to your turning shortly. Excellent. So let me just pop you guys back in the background.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye, everybody. Well, you don't really want to be looking at their ugly mugs all day, do you? No, don't suppose you want to look at mine either, but...
Well,
so,
I'm glad you said that, Brian.
I thought I would get it in before you did, Mike.
We've all got faces only a mother could love.
This is absolutely true. So, from the little picture we had earlier on your screens, you'll see I have that's the one, the thumbnail. Very good, Mark. So let's go to the overhead, and I've got some of these little pieces of branch wood that normally you just kind of throw them in the bin. So
what type of branch wood?
This is Magnolia. So I've got a whole pile of this. There's a whole, like a wheelbarrow full of little branch bits like this. So I was looking for something to turn which is not new, but kind of unusualish. And I thought I would... I had a look at a guy called Andy Cornish Creations. And if you look at the top of the chat, Andy has got a YouTube channel. And I've seen he made a little piece. And the link at the top of the chat is actually his interpretation of what I'm just about to do. So I didn't steal the idea, I borrowed the idea from Andy. So let me just get this. I was inspired by Andy, is right. That's the very word. So if you haven't anything better to do this afternoon, pop across and have a look at Andy's channel. And if you're not subscribed to him already, give him a little subscription. You probably are. He's got, 5,000 odd subscribers, I think. So let's get this mounted on the lathe. And I'll get this down to round. That's the first thing it needs to happen. And somebody can tell me who's in the chat.
Good eyes is Mark.
Right, so reading from the participants list then. We've got Chris Dodds, Circular Wood by Keith, Copper Row Woodturning, David J. Heath, Guildford Carpenter, Gav Today Woodwork, Copper Row Woodturning, Lawrence Picaja, Michael McEwen, Rob C.P. Woodturner, Robert Dolman, Steve Hale, Terry Bartlett, Captain of Fish Crafting, that's Eva, Trevor P. Hobby Turner, Wayne the Woodturner, Wild Woodshed, and Woodworm Paul. If I missed you out, I do apologise. I was just reading from the list.
We got plenty of wood dancers. Brian
Quite right.
Watkins.
Well, I'm actually going to leave that little bit back in there and we'll see what happens. If it might become a feature of the piece or not. I don't know. We'll see.
14 hours
Next
is
thing.
in as well. Hi, FKO.
Next thing I need then is a little tenon because we're going to hold this in my SC2 chuck. So that's a 38mm tenon.
Cody Shed's in.
Grab my calipers.
Hi, Katie.
Where I've left them. And I've been getting told off for reaching over the lathe this way to try and hold the calipers. So I'm going to try this left-handed. So what I'll do is I'll just don't put that on there. Keep telling people off for putting things on the lathe bed. So just move that over a little bit. And I'm going to try this left-handed. I'm not very good at this. To see can I make this tanner.
Practice.
Who's been telling you off anyway? I always do it.
Yeah, it's no big deal.
I
Everybody
think we
does
all
it.
do.
Well, we probably do, but it's not the safest thing in the world to do, is it?
Yeah.
Yes, if you're careful.
Okay.
It is, if you're careful,
With
yeah.
proper care. Every
Barry,
six
Barry's
months.
Creations is in. Hello,
You know
Barry.
what the
Hello,
safety
Rex.
police are like sometimes
Hi,
on
Barry.
YouTube?
Hi, Rex. Hi, Barry.
I've had a few comments, so I thought I would just try that just to be different today. So that's that. And what I'll do is I'll just bring this down a little bit more. So I'm just going to set that a little bit of an angle. I'll use my skew. So I'm going to use the skew, lift the tool rest up a little bit, so they're kind of a bit further up and above the center line. And I'll just bring this down a bit.
Did we mention Michael McEwen's in? Hello, Michael.
Hi,
Hi,
Michael.
Mike.
Yeah.
We got that camera there. Oops. Now, that was a little catch, but that was my own fault because I didn't lift the tool away from the workpiece. I just drew it backwards and caught this tip, which is never a good thing to do.
Oh, it is if you're on camera and it's you.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Great for viewing.
Yeah, but it's
Great
good
figures.
viewing, yeah.
Not so great for the underwear, but it's great for viewing.
That's if he wears them.
Some nice little stringy shavings coming off there. Of course, the wood is kind of wet, so if you have a look there, you'll see where I just dug that out.
Mhm.
Just right there. Took a big chunk out of it.
Oh, well.
Tell you.
Small
It's okay,
modification.
we're going to lose a whole lot more in a minute. So we'll just
Trevor
transfer this
P
into
is
the
at-
chuck now.
Trevor P's asking, haven't you got the Colwyn Way skew, Brian?
Nope. Don't
Okay.
possess such a thing. I don't think I need it. So I'm not going to buy it yet. Just remove that tailstock or that drive center. Let me go back to
Tommy's
the overhead.
workshop's in. Right, Tommy.
Hi,
So
Tommy.
this is a little SC2
Hi,
chuck from
Tommy.
Record Power. I'll just screw that on there.
Was that 2-inch diameter, that one?
It's a
That's
2-inch diameter, yeah,
Is it?
2-inch.
Nice looking little chuck, that.
It
It's a
is.
super little chuck, I have to say. And we'll just nip that off just a little bit. Put that
Just
back
let down,
in so it's
just let down
centered.
by the steady chuck key.
It's let down by its chuck key. Yeah.
Yes.
Record, I've now got 5 Record Power chucks, and I've got 3 chuck keys.
Mark Workshop's in. Brian Watkins
Mark.
said. Brian Watkins said he
so
thought he
just
was
take this
watching
up.
Steve Jones in for a
Did
moment,
he?
Brian.
Could turn Daily Blair's in. Hiya, Blair.
Yeah,
Blair, I haven't seen you for a while. How
How
you,
nice
mate?
to hear that.
It was only a small moment, though.
It was only a small moment, yeah. just for a fraction of a second.
Yeah.
So, have I mentioned what I'm making yet? No, I didn't, did I?
No,
That's
No,
good.
we're just waiting. We're waiting for the surprise.
keep us guessing.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll keep you guessing. So
Everybody's
it's just
gone
a
over
very
to
simple
Andy's.
thing. It's has a level of cuteness that kind of women like anyway.
Oh,
Because when I made them yesterday, I had a practice yesterday, and I took them into the house. Oh, that one is so cute. Hmm.
Yeah.
So
It's not a life-size replica of Mark, then.
yeah, no.
No, definitely not.
no.
So we'll just take this end down a little bit more.
Shut it, Bob. Blair's just woken up. Have a
Yeah.
coffee, Paul.
Welcome, Blair.
Yeah, you're woken up to whatever Brian's turning.
Now, there's no particular shape or anything for this. You just make it up as you go along, basically.
That gives you a bit of leeway.
Rex B's would like to know, when do you know when the skew is dull and needs to be sharpened?
It just it kind of stops cutting. Or it
Woodworm
doesn't cut
Paul.
as efficiently.
Woodworm Paul has asked me a personal question. Am I able to answer, Brian, without intervening too much?
Yeah, you work away. You work away.
Yeah, Paul's just asked me whether I got hydrocare drops from the chemist. I've actually got some from Spiomedica, the people that did the operation, the NHS. So yes, I have got. Thank you.
Maker Deloach has just joined. Hi, Maker.
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 Rob from Copper Owl says, it looks like you're making a pokey thing.
It could be a pokey thing, yes, it could be.
Pokey thing. It's not a technical term, obviously.
Technical term, pokey thing, yeah. Poked in the eye with a sharp stick. Oh, topical.
I'm just going to make a little round on this end.
With the skew.
Hopefully. Hopefully with the skew.
He's making a bell.
Could be.
Greg Alexander's in. Greg's just joined. Hello, Greg.
I agree.
So just make that a little bit smaller. There we go. And then we'll bring this down to meet it.
Come on then, you people. Start guessing. What's Brian making? 4King Hour says it looks gonkish.
Oops.
Answers on a postcard, please.
Mhm.
There we go. That'll do.
Well, your woodshed gets the prize. It's a mouse.
It's a mouse.
Well done, Wivey.
I don't know, Andrew.
We'll just shape that a little bit. He's obviously watched Andy.
Quickly followed by Rob from Copper Owl.
Well, they watched your short.
Well, I watched my little short yesterday, yeah. So we'll just finish that off there. Now we need a little area to part off, so we'll do that.
Brian Watkins says he thinks it's a moose about the hoose.
There's a moose loose about the house.
Loose
That's what you're
about
trying to say.
Da, 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 da. Sorry.
Mark,
Yeah.
no.
Okay.
No, well said, Pete. I would like to say something here, which is very important, and for once, I'm not taking the mick out of Brian.
That makes a change.
If Brian gets a catch, the result is minimal because he's not grabbing hold of the tool for grim death.
Nope.
That is one of the major problems with people using the skew is you're hanging on to it too much. You get a catch and it exaggerates that catch. So Brian's doing a great service here, getting a lot of catches and having absolutely no problem at all.
We've only had two.
No,
Roy's the boys in.
I'm being
Got my roof
sarcastic,
tubes
but
in.
it proves the point, Brian.
Got my roof tube.
Hey, Ruth. Any
Hey,
dirt on
Ruth.
Terry?
No dirt on Terry.
We need some dirt on Terry. I'm just trying to get a nice sweeping curve down there.
Lovely shavings.
You've been practicing, Brian. That's good.
Pleasure to watch.
I have indeed. But I have indeed. Keep the tool moving forward.
Did we say hello to Royce the boy?
We did. Well, we did. You didn't, but we did.
Oh, okay.
I'm just going to get rid of this edge here so that I can get the skew in further. Because I actually want to part this off with the skew. But I'm not going to part it off yet, obviously. That's enough of a shape. We'll just leave that little bit of bark in there.
Keith would like to know what you're using for the tail. That's a surprise, Keith.
That's a surprise, currently. You can use things, you can use lots of things for the tail, piece of string, whatever you like.
He generally uses garden string.
You can use garden string. Any string, could dye it brown or whatever you like. What am I looking for? Sandpaper. Sandpaper. Let's start at 180 sandpaper. That'll be plenty. Bring up the extractor. So there's nothing much to turn in the body. Just give it a little bit of sanding. What we'll do is we'll just round that nose off with a sandpaper. A little bit of finish on it.
Roy's the boy said.
The lathe down, guys. So.
Roy's the boy said he forgot you were on, Brian.
Oh,
so that's
you
the
didn't know.
impression. Yeah, he went live himself, just thinking around the workshop and finding somewhere to put his Power AC 400 air cleaner.
Steve from Epic Craft just joined.
Hi, Steve.
Hello, Stephen.
Who's that?
SK.
Oh, Steve. Good afternoon, Steve.
Alf Keys in as well.
He's obviously Skyping from work. Steve's on his lunchtime, obviously. Right, so that's that little dude done.
Scott Challenor has joined as well.
Hi, Scott.
That's just sanded to 120, right, guys? Or sorry, 180, and that's all I'm doing. I started at 180 and I'm finishing at 180. It doesn't need anything else. You could go the whole hog and pick up the 400 and polish it.
Paul Finley's just joined. Hi, Paul.
Hi, Paul. Welcome along, buddy.
Hi, Paul.
Paul Finley is a fellow Ulster woodturner. He has his own channel. If you haven't seen Paul's channel, go over and have a look.
Pat Cummins is in.
Give him a sub.
Hi, Pat.
And while we're here today, is anybody?
Hi, Andy.
Anybody in need of subs recently?
Don't thank us too quick for the welcome, Steve. We were told we had to welcome you.
I see Terry's managed to get his 500 up.
Oh, yeah.
Where are you now, Terry? 506 or something, is it?
6, 7, something like that. Yeah, there'll probably be a giveaway this week. Well, it won't be given away this week, be given away a week after. Trying to think of something to make the giveaway to everybody.
A 500 sub giveaway.
About that then.
So that's just a little bit of sanding sealer on there. And we'll stick some, not my normal polish.
I might give away one of your mice.
Yeah, you might give away a mouse. So this is upside down. A little bit of Hampshire sheen. Forgot what you call it.
Benjamin's in.
Microcrystalline.
Hello, Ben.
Because it's more resistant to fingerprints, basically. So it's a good little exercise for practicing with your skew and stuff.
Andy H has just joined. Andy.
Andy H for turning. Hi, Andy. Welcome along, buddy. Get a clean piece of cloth and just give us a little buff up. So far, the lathe has been running at 1500 revs for the whole time. Let's give that a little buff. Don't actually want it too shiny. I want a kind of matte sort of finish, but
nice and tactile for the people to pick up.
There you go. That feels nice. Cool. Now the next thing we need to do is position the eyes and the space for the ears. So the way I do that is I just use my, let me get rid of that out the way a bit. I just use a Sharpie. Switch the extractor off. Now because we've got this piece of, I'm going to leave that on the back of the mouse. So that's going to be on its back. So the floor of the mouse will be over here. So if I put the eyes somewhere about there, one there and one there. And then ears are just slightly further back and just out to the side a little bit more. Try and get them kind of even. Somewhere about there. Next thing we
Making
need to
mice
do.
today, Scott. He's making mice.
So I've got a 3mm drill bit for the eyes, and I'm going to try and drill them kind of straight in line with the curve, if you like. Now, some people have problem with that, getting the drill started in the right way. So you could easily use one of these, a center punch. Just put it in. Do all 4 or 3 holes now because I've already done one. But I tend to just jump in there and drill the hole. But all right.
Is that because
Got
you've
a Brad
applied
point
for an approved
drill
ban?
bit, then it's easy.
Graham Haynes just joined. Hi, Graham.
Agreed.
I'll just give that a little bit of a wiggle there because I want to make it slightly bigger. Tidy that hole up. It's good. So if you were just knocking these out in your workshop without explaining it or anything, you could probably knock one of these out about 10 to 20 minutes, I would think, if you did some preparation work beforehand. Now this is a slightly bigger drill. This is a 6mm drill. And the reason for that is I'm going to be sticking something a bit bigger in this hole. So again, at the same sort of angle, oops, getting back in the hole. And I'm going in about just over a quarter of an inch, between a quarter and half an inch.
Ben Jamin's asking, is that the shirt you wear, Brian, when you go clubbing?
Yep. My Joker outfit.
Hi, Ben.
Welcome along, Ben. We're in it for a bet then. So the next thing that needs to happen to this is we're going to part it off, and then we're going to fix the bottom. So let's just part it off. I'm just using a series of V-cuts there just to give myself some room. Might actually have to round this bottom off a little bit, just to make it work better.
Rob from Copperell Woodturning said, Brian, please do a dance video. I can't help thinking sort of Jane
Not
Fonda.
why you not why you're using the
Fonda
scooters.
video. Jane Fonda exercise type video.
Jane Fonda.
Jane Fonda, blimey.
Wow.
Ah, now you see what you
Jane
made
Fonda.
Brian do, Mark.
Oh, no,
See what you made him do.
So you maybe do.
Oh, well.
Let me have a look and see how much of a disaster that was.
That's savable. Just make it a little bit shorter.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
it is.
get shorter now. Thinner and shorter,
Absolutely.
where you go.
I'll just have to go there and bring it this way.
It's going to be a fat bottomed mouse.
I'll have to
Well,
resand
good
it now.
Just
I'll
check.
try it again. Let me just get rid of all that.
Live,
Hold your
twist, and
breath in the
push.
chat.
I made 2 of these yesterday, didn't have a single catch.
But you weren't talking and you weren't on film.
And
This
Mark
is-
wasn't there, so it wasn't Mark's fault. Look at his
Yeah.
name.
Oh, I wasn't
Exactly.
there when he made them.
And so I'm going to have to go this way a little bit. I'll have to refinish this now. Let's have a look at that and see if I managed to get rid of that big. So a little bit there. Get rid of that catch. Right, what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to sharpen the skew again because
Good
it's
idea.
it's actually getting the sap that's in this wood is actually sticking to the chisel. So So we'll just bring this over here. Let's see, can I show you that?
Do you actually have a diamond card, Brian?
I do, but it's just as quick to use this.
So basically, Mark, shut up and let Brian do what he wants to do. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I could have just run the diamond card over it, but this is just as handy. Basically, all I'm doing is run the diamond card over it.
What angle do you have your bevel on?
20 degrees.
20.
Go back to here again. Put that camera back in its proper spot. A little chalk marks on the floor where the camera goes. Far too fussy mould edge.
You can see that's cutting better straight away.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm actually on the bevel now because it was actually pushing the bevel off, to be honest, because the stuff was stuck to it. So let's try this bit again. I'll do. Don't do that first. I was just about to
Excellent.
pat that off there, so I'll just give it a quick sand again, back to the 180 sandpaper. And we'll give it a quick re-sand there. Do no harm.
Mises come in all different sizes anyway, Brian.
They do indeed, yeah.
We're
Back
back in a
sanding
second,
slow again.
guys.
Oops. Pull the paper over it with there. Mike's eye's bothering him today. He's had an operation on his eye today.
Right, can you go back turning them, like when they said?
He's not there at the moment.
Right.
He just excused himself there.
Okay.
He'll be back in a second. Right, a little bit of microcrystalline again. And I'm going to have the bottom to do again, so we'll leave that out. Clean piece of tissue. Now let's get this away. Now, if I had been recording this, I could have edited all that out, couldn't I?
Well, you could put it in the bin and start another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. No point in wasting it, Pete. No point in wasting it. Right, so that's back to where I was before.
Grandma Ruth Tube says she has a mental picture of Brian doing the Highland Fling, presumably of his cross skews.
In that shirt.
It's a better shape now. I'll just try and get this off of here now.
You might need to take a little bit more away on near the chuck to get the skew in the right
Yep,
angle.
that's what I'm doing, mate. I'm just doing a tiny little bit at a time. It should do.
Well, you don't follow through with that skew chisel now, see?
Yep.
Left-handed should be. There you go. Well done.
Well executed, Brian.
Thank you. Next thing needs to happen is we need to change this chuck. And I've got one prepared that I did earlier.
Roy's the boy said, I thought the Pro Edge machine recommended 15 degrees for skews.
Yep,
They
they do.
And so do I.
But I'm a chicken.
Some skews come out at 25 degrees, including the Colwyn way, I believe.
Yep.
They come out that way because that's the easiest way to handle. You very seldom get a problem with 25 degrees, but you don't get a very good cut either. Most
it's
of
hard to
mine are
use.
at 15 degrees. I've got one at 20 degrees, which I did for somebody who was having a lesson recently. And I'm trying to encourage these guys, Brian and Mark, to get down to 15 degrees, because the way I see it is 25 degrees is like driving a tractor or a bus. It's all very lazy, very slow, and fairly easy,
Like
Very
me.
stable.
Excuse
very
me.
stable.
I find that offensive.
20 degrees is, well, we like offending you, Mike, anyways. That's good. 20 degrees is like driving a family car. It's a bit quicker on the steering, a little bit easier to handle on high-speed corners. 15 degrees is like a sports car. Handles
Yeah.
beautifully, goes into a ditch extremely quickly when you get it wrong, though.
It does.
So that's that bit finished.
Steve S.A. Crash has to go, and
So
Alf
I've just
G's gotta
finished
go.
off the bottom
Oh,
there.
yeah, he's still there.
A little
So
bit
you
of
still-
sanding sealer on it, which I'll just do off camera here. Think
I
it'll-
would-
Christoph wants to know what clan you're in, Brian.
my family belonged to the clan Scott.
Clan Scott.
I would say on the bevel side, Pete, I think for the newer turner, one of my favourite comments, as Brian keeps on reminding me, I still think it's a good idea to start off with something like 25 degrees because it's slightly more, slightly less aggressive. And then
There we
as
go.
you
That's that
find
shape.
its shortcomings, then you
let me
can
just change
increase
cameras
the
here.
bevel angle. Or
Yes,
decrease
over
it,
here.
I should say.
Now,
Oh, looks really good,
this,
Brian. Looks really
this
good.
little mouse obviously is going to have eyes and ears up here, so it needs a flat to sit on. So I'm just going to do that by using my sanding machine. So just to line it up on there, put its butt against the stop bar, and just sand the flat. Now, however you sand the flat is however it will stand up.
If you don't have a belt sander, you could always put a disc on your lathe and sand it that way.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I'm going to sand the flat big enough so that I can put my maker's mark on the bottom of it. See, will that stand? There we go. So that's that portion done. Let me just change the camera again. Switch that back to there for a second.
I'll tell you, that view there is tidier than our kitchen.
I'll move my
Yeah.
camera over here,
Sickening,
bring
isn't
it back to there.
Makes you sick, doesn't it, Mark?
And let's have a look here. So now, is that close enough? Can I zoom that in a little bit?
Would be good if you could.
Let me see if I can just zoom that in for you guys.
Mike won't see it. I
Excellent.
won't
I'll
see
see you
it.
later, Ralph.
Unlock that. There's the camera. There. Unlocked. Let me just zoom that in a bit. Put that up there. And drag that a bit. There we go.
That's better.
Yeah.
Up better there, guys. That's
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
There you go. So, it needs. Oh, I can't do that yet because I have something else to do. Let's go back to the overhead. I need to make a pair of eyes.
Mm.
Now, in Andy's video that I watched, he just used plastic eyes and he stuck them in. So I decided that I would make two, or in my wisdom. So I've got a nice piece of mahogany or sapelli or something in there, and I'm just going to make a couple of little eyes out of that. So we use the skew. I'll just bring that onto a round, just make a dowel basically. And we want the eyes to be somewhere about 4 mil, I think. Let's have a look and see what that is. a little bit too big. That's about 6 mil at the minute. So we'll just take a
Big
little
eyed
fraction off
mouse.
that. Well, you can have any size eyes you want.
Size you like,
You
yeah.
know, just kind of personal preference. If you want big googly eyes, you can have them. If you want to buy eyes from the sort of googly eyes that you can buy from craft shops, you could put them on.
Or you can borrow one of mine.
Yeah,
Mike,
Mike,
we're not
you're
using them.
talking about now.
Yeah, I was going to say, Mike's are not much good at the minute. You could use his.
Yeah.
So that should do. Now, just 2 little eyes, so we'll round this end off. If I can do it without. There we go, that'll do. And bring that back to about there. And then there again. And just go start a little round in there. Because that's going to be the next eye. Once I part that off. And then about there somewhere. So I'm just doing these by eye. Excuse me.
News was that.
You tell me your name's Iris next.
I'm just going to use my little parting tool I'm just going to use it like a skew. And just take the stems down to the size I need. That's obviously far too long. I'm going to be cutting some of that off in a minute. I made that miles too long.
Funny you should say that, Ben. I was thinking the same.
Ben says he thinks the mouse needs a bowler hat.
Oh well. The answer is no, I'm not turning a bowler hat.
I know.
So you remember I made a 3mm drill. It was a 3mm drill I used. So
It was.
set my calipers to 3mm. And notice that the points have been ground off this so they won't grab. And if I just hold that and push it in, it makes a mark so you can see where the 3mm is. And then use your tool to actually cut it rather than trying to force it with that.
Blimey,
What?
Copper, that's a bit dark.
Oh, no.
He says there was an old Criminal Minds show where the serial killer scooped out his victim's eyes to use in his taxidermy.
Well, that's silly.
Blimey,
You
blimey,
need glass eyes for taxidermy.
That is just a bit dark. And we'll
Chris
just part
Dodd's-
that off. We'll just part that off
Chris-
with the skew.
Chris Dodd says a good idea actually. Dressmaking pins
Yes.
with the beads on the end make good eyes.
So there
That's
we go.
what
There's
I
one
did.
eye.
Yeah.
I'll set
Good
that
point,
over there
Chris.
beside me. And we'll make the next one. So we'll just use a skew again. Basically, this is just a skew. Just a blade. And I'll use a skew. Part that off there.
The only trouble with dressmaking pins is I'm looking around my workshop. I've got lots of bits of wood that I could turn down, but I don't have any dressmaking pins.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a problem.
yeah.
That's an issue.
That'd be in your sewing room, Pete, would it?
Yeah,
You'd have to go to your sewing room for that.
yeah, I have to go to the sewing room, which is about half a mile away from here.
Alf Keys is back. It was a false alarm.
There we
Bye,
go.
Ralph.
Right, make sure this is still set at 3mm. There we go. That's almost perfect. I'm actually getting quite good at judging that. A little bit of sandpaper just to sand that off. Part it off with the. I have to do this left-handed now, Terry, have I?
Yeah, that's it. Well, you still got to watch your fingers because it's very small, but usually, yeah, you do it left-handed. And if you
There you
slice on by, you're not cutting yourself.
There we go. I'll put that back over there.
This is
Make
where I
that
would
go
normally
there.
be making 5 eyes, because 3 of them are going
Yeah.
on the floor somewhere.
Well,
Yeah, you won't
if you,
find the others.
If you were
Yeah.
doing a production run, you would obviously just you would make yourself 20 or 30 eyes, and make all the bodies at the end. Let's go there.
Another little useless tip from the Walt stable, seeing he can't prove he can turn. I take something like
Put him in a little cup, yeah.
a plastic. Can I finish, Brian?
Yeah.
No.
Thank you.
You work away there, Mike. Whose show is this?
When you're actually when I'm turning it lies like that, when I pat them off, if you get a litre, something like an ice cream container, and put that on your bedways, and then you can actually turn it off, and it'll just drop into the container.
One of those.
Well, yeah, a bit wider than that.
Noses
maybe.
and eyes.
Yeah.
Look, so this is full of little eyes and stuff for gonks. These are for gonks.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, as you're parting it off on the lathe, it just drops into there, and then you haven't got to go searching for them.
You say that, but what usually happens with me is that they bounce out of that straight into the pile of shavings, never to be seen again.
Never to be seen. Yeah.
Must be turning quick then, Pete.
You bend down to look. You bend down to look for it, Pete, and you knock the tin off. That's got the other 20 eyes.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you guys. I don't know if any of you guys have this issue, but
No.
this always happens to me.
Yeah.
Bloody super glue sticks the lid to the lid, and you can't get it off.
One thing I was told a long time ago about that is when you put your super glue down, put it down like you're angry.
Yeah,
You
okay.
slam it down, it tends to knock the glue out of that tube so it doesn't stick the lid on.
Ah, that's a good idea. Better not do it now with no lid on it.
No.
So the ears, let's go with the ears first, guys. These are the ears. I made this out of a piece of an old sheepskin coat. Cut a bit off it. And I trimmed the sheepskin off it so it's not just quite so furry, but it still looks a little furry on the inside. I've marked it with a big piece of chalk, just a sort of teardrop shape. Cut it out with a pair of scissors. So that's the second. The third bit of that is we shape the ear to make it like that. Now I'll just show you how that's done. So I just take a little bit of super glue on that's too much, on a cocktail stick, and just run it across there. That's the bit we're going to fold in. So
Take just fingers to it, mind.
well, you can use your fingers. I mean, you can use your fingers if you want, but what I do is I kind of just use my fingers there and use these long nose pliers
Sensible.
and just squeeze it together.
Excellent.
And I'm going to hit it with a little bit of this activator. I'll do it off camera so you can't. There you go. I'll just hold it for a second or two.
Enchanted Wood Design says put some paste wax on the funnel tube before you put the lid back on.
Oh, that's a good idea. So now that that's kind of set there, it's kind of sticking to my thing. That's okay. It's kind of square, so take your pliers and just give it a squeeze in that direction. And that makes the bit you're putting in the hole kind of round. It might be too big. But if I bring that across there,
Ben Janet's got a sensible
you see that kind of fits in there?
Brian
So that's
says,
yes.
Ben says he always leaves a few threads, so when he returns the next day, he can screw the lid down more and it'll break the glue joint.
That's a good idea too, yeah. I'll maybe try that. So that's how you make the ears, guys. Just it's really as simple as that.
Excellent.
Simple little.
Good little tip. Well done, Brian.
Yeah.
And I've got two made here already.
Blue Peter ears.
Yeah. Blue Peter kind of
Peter
moment.
eyes.
So, again, so I'm just going to get a little bit of super glue and just put it on the outside edge of that now. If I can get any super glue. There we go. That's on the outside edge. And I'm just going to stick that in that hole. So just wedge that in there. And this is where you set the angle of your ear. So if you look at the mouse from its nose, I can't see what I'm showing you there. So that little ear.
You see it though. Yeah, that's right.
Perfect, mate.
Just like that. And we'll do the same with the other one. Let's get a little bit of super glue on there first. So this is medium CA I'm using, so as it doesn't kind of run everywhere. The thin CA is too thin. Don't use that, guys.
Is the by any
Don't
chance?
ask me. Don't ask me how I know that.
Is the thick CA a bit too thick as well?
The thick CA is too thick, is right. You can't get
So
it to.
medium CA is just right, is it?
Yeah, just a bit like the Goldilocks story. Yeah.
Unless you drill a bigger hole, then you can put.
Well, you could dig a
ceiling.
bigger hole. You could do whatever you like, but there you go. There's the ears.
Sorry, Brian, I'm taking a minute.
I'll tell you what, that is really effective, Brian.
And the next thing is the two little eyes. So again, just a
Do you
dab of
test
super
fit
glue.
first? Do you test fit them first or not?
Oh, I suppose I should really.
Just checking.
What do you think?
Very-
What do
very
you think?
nicely said,
Will it
Brian.
work? Will it work?
I don't know.
Have confidence.
Let's test fit them. No, I'm not going to have
Make
confidence.
sure.
Yeah, because yesterday I had to whack them with a hammer, and I might have to whack them with
Steve
a hammer.
Fleming's in. He's late, but he's in. No, you're not late, Steve. You just come in when you want to.
Hi, Steve.
Yeah.
I
You
stay
come in
on.
whenever you like. So in order to make that fit, it's a little bit on the big side. So
Brian,
we
have
just
you got a metal drill sizing guide?
no.
Yeah. I got
What's a
one of them,
metal?
and I find it really good because
We just make that
if I
hole a
want
little
something to
bigger.
be
Just
3
give it a
mil and
wiggle.
it's 3.2 mil, if I just sort of screw it into the 3 mil hole on the metal drill sizing guide, it's 3 mil all of a sudden.
Oh,
That's an excellent idea, actually.
that's a plan. That's a plan. Let me just try this now. See what this goes.
Fred Giller has just joined us. Fred.
Hi,
Try to
Fred.
hold this so you guys can see us as well at the same time. It's just awkward as sin.
It's
You
different,
can
isn't it?
imagine
Well,
me,
look
you
through
can
the-
imagine
look
me
through the
doing
max's eyes,
this,
you'll be
can't
fine.
you? Hey? You can imagine
That's
me
okay.
doing this.
I don't even have to. I
Oh,
don't even have to glue that. I'm just going to put it in. Doesn't
Like,
even
you
need
wouldn't be able
glue.
to see the bench at the moment, let alone the mouse or the eyes.
No.
Exactly. You know that might
So
be masking
some of
things,
you will remember that I made this. I made this not so long ago. Comes in handy for beating eyes in.
Flipping great mallet for a little.
It's a bit of overkill there, bro.
Yeah. See that?
Why
eyes
don't you
in
get a
there?
10-ton press, Brian? You know,
There
steam
you
press.
go. Look,
use your,
Look at that.
chuck,
See?
yeah, use your jaws on your voice, I would.
Yeah, come on.
look at that. There you go.
That's brilliant.
Well done,
There we
Brian.
Absolutely
Excellent.
Look
brilliant.
at that. Now,
The
Keith
tail.
asked earlier about what you do for a tail.
Yeah.
Well, the first thing is you need a hole for it. So if you're gonna, I wouldn't put the hole right in the middle. I'd bring it up a little bit on the top of the body, so somewhere about there-ish.
Mind your hands. Go blimey.
Yeah. What's wrong with you, Terry?
Chris Dodds is asking, is it a field mouse or a house mouse?
It's a
It's
shot.
a wooden mouse. It's a wooden mouse. What's the matter with him?
I saw a mouse where there on the stair. Now, I'm just going to dip this in a little bit of super glue.
You're going to
This,
tell
by
Keith
the
what
way-
it is.
Yeah, this, by the way, is a piece of earth wire, or a piece of live wire, brown live wire,
Yeah.
which makes it posable. So 1.6 mil live wire, which makes it kind of posable. There you go. Oh, sugar, I killed him. I think I need to sand the bottom a little bit more so it makes it a bit more stable.
That's brilliant.
Well done,
that's
Brian.
that
That's
one.
good.
And what are you going to use for the whiskers?
I'm not putting whiskers on it
If you did.
because,
If you
well, yeah, I was
There's a
thinking.
cat running around somewhere with no
I-
whiskers.
yeah, I was thinking something like, you know, the old bass brooms that you used to get
Mm-hmm.
with a natural fibre. Like, I don't know what it is, what the fibre is, but to have a natural fibre, that would maybe make a good job. But it
Yeah.
means drilling tiny little holes and putting them
Of
in
course.
individually.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't actually
wasn't
think you
asking
need
to
them.
do it. I was just asking what your take would
Like
be.
a bristle broom. Like a bristle broom, you mean?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
but not a plastic one, obviously.
No, the
natural
little bristle
fibre.
one.
Natural fibre would be better.
Yeah.
So I'll just show you these.
That
You
looks
could use
really,
horsehairs.
really good.
Horse's
You could-
tail.
yeah, you could use a bit of a horse's tail or something, and at all. Yeah, I might actually do that. So I'm just going to go back over to the other camera over here, so as I can just make
Up a bit
I'm
more.
going to make the base a little bit more stable.
Up a tad more, Brian.
That's right. We can see it.
Outside.
That's better.
Yeah.
That's a bit more. That's a bit more stable. It's not going to fall over on its own accord. And for anybody who's interested in thinking I was using that without any extraction, my the the sander is plugged into the Hoover, and the Hoover is plugged into the back of the sander. So whenever you switch the sander on, the Hoover comes on.
Keith is saying that you've got to be careful showing the kids with copper wire. I would
Well,
suggest that these aren't toys, they're ornaments.
these are not toys at all. These are just ornamental.
Yeah.
Switch your camera.
Yeah, I'm going to switch the camera just in a second.
Hang on, we're having a pro edge moment.
We're having a pro edge moment. No, we're not. We're having one of those moments. There you go, guys.
Oh, there we are. That
There's a
family.
little plague.
Daddy and 2 kids. Mummy and 2 kids.
Brilliant.
Absolutely
Well done.
superb.
That's brilliant.
So these are the 2 I did yesterday, just messing about. So it doesn't matter what size of piece of wood you start with. You can use up all your scrap bits of branch wood.
And if one of those mice can't see, it can go along with Terry and Mike to make 3 blind mice.
I'm gonna bring you guys back in here again, just for a second.
Well, coming back on, are we? Oh, look out then. Get
That was a
dressed.
quick live today. It's only 10 to 2.
Get dressed.
Make sure you're dressed there, boys. Put your patch back on there, Mike.
Grandma Ruth says, "Oh, that's so cute. Well done, Brian."
Thanks, Ruth.
Yeah,
And the more you angle the bottom, you can have them at kind of any angle you want. So it depends how you angle this piece of the bottom. There you go, guys. Simple little project.
Excellent.
Easy to make. If you've got some spare time, you've got some
Fun
branch
to
wood
do.
line,
Yeah.
you could just knock a few of them up and stick them on your
Nice bit of
stall the
skew
next time you
practice with
go market. Yeah,
offcuts of wood.
that's it. We're done. Any questions, guys?
Yeah. Why have you not done a bowler out like Mark got on?
Yeah.
One of the mouse.
Oh,
Daddy mouse.
okay. You could go the whole hog and do all sorts of. You could paint them. You could make them anything you like. I mean, I did some. I did some orange in the ears of this one. Did a little bit of orange in the ears. I just used a Sharpie and just rubbed it in with to make the colour of the ears to make it different. So it's entirely up to yourself what you do with them.
Well, they're
Pipe
brilliant.
cleaners might work for the tails. Piece of string, whatever.
But they're not toys, they're ornaments.
No,
Yeah.
they're just ornamental. They're for giving for basically what they're to do is you stick on your stall when you have if you go and try and sell some stuff, and it'll attract people to your stall. Oh, look at them wee mice, and they might end up buying a fancy big bowl or something.
Ben's
Vincent
asking,
Charton says it's a great video, Brian.
Thank
Ben's
you very
asking
much,
how do
guys.
people know if it's a girl mouse or a boy mouse?
I think something to do with the size of the ears.
Size of the ears.
Don't quote me on that, eh? Don't quote me on that.
The women's ears are about this big. And then you just hit little mouse with huge great ears. That'll be the woman listening for everything.
We only need little ears because we get bombarded.
That was good fun today, guys. I enjoyed that. I don't know if you used it. I hope you did anyway.
Oh, I'm glad
Yeah,
you
it
did.
very good.
Good project.
So
Super job.
If there's no more questions or anything, we'll call
Anybody
it.
got any last questions? We just watch for a second.
It's only 5 to 2. That was the
Look at
quickest.
that. You finished on time.
That's the
God,
quickest live
boys.
I've ever done.
It is. Yeah.
Gav said, he says, if you shake it and it rattles, it's a boy.
Normally Mike talks through the first hour of it, and then.
Oh, that's true. Mike was absent there for a while, so that kept the thing moving along a bit.
I can't, I can't see to talk, you see. As we say in Wales.
I can't talk with one eye. It's hard.
No,
Difficult.
damn right.
All right, guys. So thanks very much to my earworms for coming in today. Terry, Pete, Mark,
Bye, everybody.
Mike.
You're welcome, Brian.
Cheers all.
We'll
Cheers,
Glad to see you all in.
Who's on tonight? Anybody on tonight? No. Is Keith or Andy or something on tonight? No, don't think so.
Not sure.
Don't forget, tomorrow night, guys, is the Battle of the Makers. That'll be interesting.
That's back.
And then over the weekend, I think we've got a couple of people on the weekend. Wayne the Woodturners are on Saturday, isn't he?
Usually.
And there'll be some others as well.
Friday
on the weekend.
lunchtime is Wayne on as well, isn't it? Friday lunchtime live.
Oh, Friday lunchtime, yeah. So, and then Mark's back up. No, is it you or me on Monday?
It's you.
Ah, no, it's not me again, is it?
Oh God.
I'm on Monday as well. Don't forget.
Oh, Terry's on Monday
I'll
lunchtime.
be
and
making.
then,
Hopefully, be
Right.
making something to give away for my 500 subs.
Oh, yeah.
Well done.
Don't forget Terry's lunchtime 500 sub giveaway. So we'll be
Make a pair
making
of
something
eyes,
to
I
give
think, for
away.
the mouse.
And then there will be a keyword that you have to put in the chat, and then blah 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 blah. We'll draw it the following week. Is that right, Terry?
Affirmative.
Fair enough.
Plan.
Oh, apparently
Okay,
Wayne's
guys.
standing in for Scott tonight.
Oh, Scott's on. Oh, right. Okay. So
Scott
Wayne's
was supposed to
covering
be
for
on,
Scott.
but he's not. So,
So is that 8 o'clock?
dare say.
Probably.
Yeah.
Aye, probably
Guess
8
it will
o'clock.
be, yeah.
Keep
Bit
your eye
more
open in your
serious
chats,
than that.
guys. You'll see it in your notifications, and you'll get notified of that because I think
Just come
everybody
up. Micah McKeon's just put in the virtual craft festival on Saturday.
What?
Is it?
That's what he's put here.
Get now. What?
Virtual craft
Never heard-
festival on Saturday.
I haven't even heard about it. Not a one word have I heard about that.
Thank you, Roy. No
Is
way,
that
murder
Jay-
anything.
Is that Jamie Page's one?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I haven't seen any adverts or anything. Or...
No notifications, no adverts, no nothing. Don't know anything about it,
I
guys.
don't think so.
Well,
Well,
keep
not
your eyes
far,
open
no.
if it is, or you'll get notified. The notifications will come out.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's it. We're done. So I'm going to end the broadcast.
Bye,
Bye
everybody.
everybody.
All the best.
Cheers.
Bye. Cheers.